Okay, cool. So now we're live, everybody. Hello. Thanks for everyone that tuned in on time. And we always get started late. But anyhow, so welcome everybody. My name is Kimberly Denise. If you don't know who I am already, co-founder of Team Blade. And prior to getting started with Empower Network, I was a full-time banker and branch supervisor for U.S. Bank. And I was also at the same time a struggling network marketer. I was building different businesses. I went from company to company for about 6 years trying to do the offline thing, right? Like dragging people to hotel meetings, tricking people into coming to hang out with me, but really we're going to like a meeting and or inviting people over to my house for a presentation. No one shows up, and just I went through all that kind of stuff before I even knew the internet world, of marketing existed. And finally got to a point to where I was like, I'm not giving up on this, but there has to be a better way. So I came to the internet. I went to Google and ended up finding a girl who I connected with. And long story short, I found Empower Network, started blogging I got the blog in the inner circle level. And I have to say that if it wasn't for me finding Empower Network and just connecting with the people, and then also like the inner circle was just something that really, really got me through some really hard times, because not only was I struggling financially, but just life in general just, it really sucked at the time. And just having the hope that, life could be better eventually, and that I could finally have my dreams realized of being a successful entrepreneur, and hearing the stories of people who literally went from, bankruptcy to success, and being at zero to success, and just hearing over and over again all these different regular people just like me who went from, similar stories, or some were worse, some were not as bad, but just people from all walks of life, and just hearing that, they made it happen, and the only reason why they made it happen was because they just stuck it out long enough. So, one of the things I want to talk about tonight is, I put on the subject in the group, that, how to build a business if you're broke is, what. Because I do want to reach out to those of you that maybe, some of you can't afford some of the tools that we're using, and I don't want you to get discouraged, but I want you to, I just want to urge you that if you're serious about building this business, and if you consider yourself a serious entrepreneur, to just stick in there and stick around us and stay plugged into the team, get on these hangouts, get on the calls, and do the 8 core commitments, and do what you can with what you have, with where you're at. That's the most important thing, And as you're learning the principles of success and the law of attraction and just all of these different mindset things that you're going to be learning with staying around long enough, that's the number one thing that you can do, is just really give yourself enough time to really sink in, and to lock in, and really grasp what we have here, because the opportunity that we have in Empower Network is so incredible. Even if you are just at the $25 blog level, you can do really, really well if you learn the skills needed to market this thing, even at the $25 level. So there's a couple things I do want to show you tonight. I want to show you how to create a capture page if you don't have lead pages, a custom one. I want to teach you how to customize that to yourself, which was something that I did, because I didn't have really any marketing budget at all. My story, when I first got started, was I had to hide the membership, spending money on the membership. But I was so serious about it, and I knew that I would succeed eventually, that, the first thing that got paid when I got paid, besides, all the payday loans that I had, was Empower Network. I made sure that this was paid no matter what, because I knew that, if I treated this as a business, that it would pay me as a business, even if it wasn't paying me right away. In the first, guys, I struggled for like 9 or 10 months in this business online before I met Paul, and things were like crazy for me, but I knew that if I just stayed consistent with everything, that, that breakthroughs would happen for me. And I got to the events, and sure enough, it did. And, in April in Chicago, I had my first event, and completely changed my life, my perspective. And, over the next 4 months after that event, I just went after it. And I began to, hey, Vari, what's up? I began to really implement the things that my mentor was teaching. I didn't have anyone showing me how to do anything hand by hand, or side by side. I was just learning from the resources around me, and I was just a student. And, I connected with other fellow people that were in our team and in our group. And, I really just had to learn everything on my own, basically. But I went out there and I just did what I could with what I had at the time. And so I just want to, encourage you guys that, if you're serious about this, that the sky is the limit for you if you will just give this thing time to work for you. So really the key that I want to bring out here, the key to seeing a result and seeing success here is just a commitment. It's just a commitment to completion. You'll hear us talking about that a lot, that excellence. What is excellence? That excellence is a commitment to completion, which means you're not going to come in here and say, "Oh, I'm going to give it 90 days, and if I don't make 10 grand within 90 days, then I'm out. I'm going to go find something else." And if you have that kind of mindset right now, I'm going to say it's ridiculous. You need to throw it away. You need to get rid of it now, because having that kind of mindset is not right. And it's not going to get you anywhere. Because had I said that, I would have been gone. I would have. I struggled but stayed consistent still with 9 months of not having very many results at all. I think 9 months into the business, I had maybe like 4 teammates or something like that. Like I was really, for some reason I couldn't get a grasp of this thing, but I still had faith, and I still knew that, no, you know what, I went to my first event, I saw people succeeding, and I knew that I was going to be able to make it too. That, whatever was going to happen for me would happen eventually, and sure enough, it did. A lot of you don't know, but I met Paul in July. We were not connected on any teams. I'm not sponsored by Paul. I wasn't on his team. I didn't even know him when I met him in July. And we just met at an event really briefly, and then we connected on Facebook, and he offered to coach me and just to help me through the things I was struggling with. And literally, I kid you not, within 30 days of just being around him through just Google Hangout and just really hearing the way that he built his business. And here's the key thing. I saw that Paul was someone with the results that I wanted. Number one. Okay, he had exactly what I wanted. He had been job-free since like the beginning of the year, didn't have a job, which is what I wanted. I wanted to get rid of my job. He was making 5 figures online. I wanted that as well. Heck, I would have just been happy with just replacing my income, which was like barely $2,000, so I can just get out of that thing. So 2, he had the results that I wanted. And number 3, he offered to help me, and there was no vested interest. I wasn't on his team, so I thought, if this guy's offering me help, he's not going to profit from me. He's not going to make any kind of any commissions off of me. What reason does he have other than he's just being genuine? He's being nice. He's offering me his help. I'm going to do whatever the heck he tells me to do, because I'm sick of living a life of not being able to pay my bills. I'm sick of living where I get paid and then I have to go out, and this is how I was living. I would get my check, direct deposit, and if my checking account wasn't overdrawn, sometimes it was. If it wasn't, I would take that money out. I would go to 3 different locations in town, pay back my payday loans, reloan them all again, and take that. So I was basically like renting my own money so that I could pay other bills, and then I had no money left over. It's the struggle. If you're broke right now, you know what you're going through, and I know how it is too, because I went through it. And I got to the point where I was just sick of it, and I decided I'm doing whatever I need to do, whatever he tells me to do. Like, I'm just going to make it happen no matter what, because that's how serious I am. I'm sick of not seeing my kids. I'm sick of being broke. I'm sick of living this life that I know that I deserve better. So, kid you not, we started coaching like towards the end of July. It was like right after the event in Denver, and he gave me some really good insight, and just his whole style of just being really cutthroat and like you just need to do whatever it takes no matter what. Like, it doesn't matter if you think you can't do it right now, you just need to do it. I did it. I did every single thing that he told me to do. I started making the changes that he told me to make. One of the things that I made happen was I got all in. Like, I did not have the money to do it. I had to really become resourceful, which is something I was not doing at the time. The story I kept telling myself was, man, I'm broke. I could not see myself being able, at the time I was at the Costa Rica level, and one of the payday loans that I had was so that I could get that Costa Rica. I had to get it through my bank in order to buy the Costa Rica. So that's why I had so many loans, is because I had to get to the event in Chicago, and then also to buy the Costa Rica. So that's why I had all that debt out there. So, but I knew it was going to pay off, and sure enough, it did. I mean, look where I am now. But so he told me, he's like, you got to get all in. Like, if you are serious about 5 figures, like, there's no question about it. You have to be all in. So I'm like, all right, I'll do whatever it takes. So I took literally a day. He's like, he started jogging my mind, going through like, who do you know with capital? What can you sell? What are the things that you can do to create some extra income? Like, just whatever you can do. And, long story short, I had a family member. I knew she had some resources, and I just sat down with her. I told her, this is what I'm doing. I'm building this business. This is my plan. And it's my ex-mother-in-law. And, my dream is to really, part of it is to really just help my family. I don't have a lot of family members, but one of the things is I do want to help her. Like, she's like a year away from retirement, and she has like nothing. And I'm like, you know what? Part of my vision is to help you. And, if you help me, I'm never going to forget that. If you invest in me, I'm going to pay you back. Plus, I'm going to pay you interest, and I'm going to help you, so you don't have to go through the struggle that you're going through anymore. So, sure enough, I mean, thank God she believed in me, and she knows that, I'm reliable and I'll pay her back and everything. So, she gave me a loan. I got all in. Long story short, little did I know, one of my teammates was waiting on the sidelines for me to go all in. I went all in. He went all in. I made my money back within like 4 days. I had my first $1,500 day. Then I had my first $3,000 day. And then right after that happened, one of his teammates went all in too. It was the craziest like week and a half, 2-week time span that I ever had in my business, just because like, wow, here I was so scared, so nervous, but so happy at the same time to be able to do that, to get all in. But then I'm like, all right, now I really got to work my butt off to make this back. But little did I know, one of my teammates was like, oh, shoot, I'm going to do it too. And then he did it. And one of his teammates did it, which he didn't even expect. It was like a domino effect of people like having these huge days, and it created such a big momentum for all of us and gave us credibility and, just gave us that push that we needed over the edge that, I had a $1,500 day. Like, if you guys go to YouTube and type in my name, you'll see that video comes up. And I was like crying on the video, and it was like a dream come true for me. And it all was traced back to me just making the decision to do whatever it takes. Not only that, but just listening to somebody who had results, and that was Paul. And so something that I want to urge is that you guys have a leader. We have a leader in Paul that, if you guys just lock arms and just follow the training that we give you, and like I keep saying, do what you can with what you have now, and have faith that this thing will start to work for you. That it will. And I wanted to tell that story because not a lot of people know, like, how I met Paul and stuff like that, and how, long story short, we're dating and all that stuff. But no one really knew, I don't think, on the team too much that, he's the one that helped me break through in my business. And that's why, I'm so adamant about people just following the training and sticking in, staying around long enough. Robert Kiyosaki, who is the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he wrote a bunch of other books as well. But he and a lot of other experts, they recommend in the network marketing industry to just stick around, not just stick around, but bare minimum, be here a year from now. That's what they say. And I think Robert actually says be here 2 years from now, but that's like traditional network marketing. But here in internet marketing, just be here a year from now. Just do whatever you have to do. So much can happen in the next 12 months that can completely change the entire course of your life. Like, look at where Paul is right now. Like, literally, like, it's a true story. In January, he was struggling. That whole story is real. He was at rock bottom. And, had he given up 90 days in, 6 months in, he would not be being mentored by Dave Wood. He would not be given the opportunity to have the credibility that he's been given, to be on Hangouts, or to, have credibility at the events, and to speak, and to be on the inner circle call, and all these things that he dreamt about and that he knew were possible for him, because he believed that, the people who were telling him that it was possible were telling the truth, and they were. So, it's all about resilience. It's all about being relentless and just having a vision that's so important to you that it's worth failing for, because people are so, I think, scared of failing, and they're so scared that it's not going to work, or they're so scared that this and that. Like, you have to have a vision. Like, if you have kids right now, you're parents, and you're out there, you're doing this for your kids and your family, let that be your driver. Let that be your driver. Let that be the driving force in you that tells you, I don't give a crap how many times I mess up. I don't care how many dumb videos I do. I don't care what I have to do, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to figure it out by taking action and learning from my mistakes and learning from the other people, and just seeing yourself daily where you want to be and knowing that it's possible for you, and just letting that propel you forward every single day and take it day by day. But I guess I'm going to get some feedback from some of the other panelists on just, really just being resilient in your business. And maybe, I know, Amber, you've been around for some time too, and you've known Paul. Just what are some things that have really helped you just to, stick around and be, like a true entrepreneur, not giving up, not giving in, not getting over the hurdles, getting over the mountains and the walls that get in your way. I think I just unmuted you. Hold on. Okay, go ahead and try.
Okay. I was like, ding, ding. Okay.
Your wisdom.
We're playing bells over here. No, just, I mean, being consistent in general. Like, at first, when you first get started, you're like, where do I start? I know a lot of people that's already getting started, like, where do I start? Like, first of all, go to the fast track or whatever. First track, what, I can't even talk, Lord. But go through the stuff.
The fast start training.
Get started in there, and it gives you the 8 core commitments, and just staying focused and keep being persistent. Like, don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Stay focused on what you're doing, and that's where what you're going to get your results. And that was my main focus. Like, in the beginning, I was like, didn't feel worthy enough, like I deserved to want these the $10,000 and the results, and nobody would listen to me. And then you just have to get to that point where you just don't care anymore because you want it that bad. Like, you don't care what nobody says, you don't care what nobody thinks, anything. You just keep your head down, learn the material, focus on personal development, and there's nothing you can't do. There's nothing you can't do. And being around a community that's going to support you, it's so much negativity nowadays. You just have to keep pouring in that positivity with the inner circle. You have to keep pouring in so much into yourself. And it's nice to give back to other people, but I realized, like, me being sick today, that I had to take out time. Like, literally, I was sick earlier today, and then it's like my body's fine now. Really weird. But you have to take out time for yourself and focus on the things that you want, because your body will tell you differently. And that's just from my own personal experience. And seeing Paul from where he was to where he is now, it gives me even more hope and even more determination. Like, if he can do it, shit, we all could do it. We're all ordinary people. We're all human beings. But you just have to push yourself to the limit, to the maximum where you thought that you would never take yourself, if that makes any sense. Just keep going. Keep being consistent. That's it. Period. Point blank.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, it's really simple. And, the people who will succeed here and do succeed, I mean, you can trace their footsteps all the way back to just making a decision at some point that, what, they're just going to figure this thing out no matter how long it takes. Like, when I was struggling, I just made the decision. I was like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to figure out how to make, a minimum of $50,000 a month, and I don't care if it takes a year. I really don't care if it takes the next 5 or 10 years, because quite honestly, most people die before they even create more income than that. You know what I mean? Like, if it takes me until, like, I mean, what really options do I have? Going to this job and, retiring after how many more years, like 50 more years, or because we all know the retirement age goes up every single year, so people are retiring at like 72 now or some crazy crap, I don't know. But I mean, what really are your options that you have? Either you make it work here, which you can do if you don't quit. The only way if you fail is if you quit. That's the only way. Trying things that don't work is not failure. Reaching out to people that say no is not failure. Inviting people to a hangout and it's only 2 people that hop on is not failure. The only failure is when you hit that cancel button and you cancel on yourself and your family, and you decide that your dreams aren't worth it enough. That's it. When you hit cancel, or you tell us, oh, I'm going to cancel my membership because I've been here for 30 days and haven't made any money back or nothing like that, you're just canceling the future that you could have had for your family. That's all that you're doing. So if you just stick in the game, you will succeed. The people who succeeded are the ones that just didn't give up. That's it. It's that simple. So yeah, I mean, you know, if for those of you that maybe you're still searching for that, because I know there's some people that are like, wow, like, well, what really is like the reason that I'm here though? Like, you know, you want to create income, but the money, it's got to be deeper than the money. It's got to be a deeper rooted reason, some kind of change you want to make in your life, in your family's life, in the world. There's some crazy. I mean, this could be like a 3-hour hangout if I explained everything that I want to do, like with the wealth that I'm going to create. But you know, you just have to find that, because that's what's going to get you over the hard times and the struggles. And no, if this is not going, this stuff is simple to learn, but doing it and creating it is not easy. And anything worth anything is not going to be easy. So once you just come to grips with that and just be like, hey, you know what? I'm probably going to face some things where it's going to be hard, or there's going to be some times where I'm probably going to break down and cry. Feel like, you know, was there times where I felt like, oh, I'm just going to give up, I'm just going to stay here? Like, there was a time before, you know, I broke through where I was sitting at work and I was like looking at, you know, the path that I could take. It was almost like I was like at a fork in the road, and I was like, you know, I'm pretty good at my job. I could probably become a branch manager pretty easily. I'm already, you know, almost there. My next promotion would have been like assistant manager, and then I was in an in-store branch, so I could have very easily become branch manager. And, you know, I think they made like $25, $30 an hour or something, which is great for, you know, like a retail like establishment or whatever have you, with no education or anything. But I was like, like seeing the life that they live, like there was no life. You're working 50 hours a week. You're not seeing your family and all that stuff. I'm like, no, that's not for me. And I know what I want to do here on earth. I want to change the world. I want to inspire people to actually live their dreams. And I want to connect with people who don't want to live this kind of life, pull them out of it, and let them live life they want to live, you know? Let the people that want to be at a job be at a job. It's fine. But the people who don't want to and are miserable and want something better, give me those people. Let me help those people. And I know I can't do it here in this bank, so I'm not going to quit. And so that's what drove me through. You know, sometimes, I mean, you may come to places, you know, literally the night before, I told you guys, you know, I started being coached by Paul. The night before I started coaching with him, like I was on my couch and I was crying. And I remember sending my sponsor a message on Facebook. I'm like, man, you know, I tried this stuff for so long and I failed offline for like 6 years. And I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, when is it going to work? Like, I'm like, it's hard for me to believe that it could actually work for me because I've had so much failure. Didn't have any reason to show me why it could actually work other than just a belief and just a faith that if it worked for other people, it could work for me too. And I literally, like, that was one of the lowest points that I had. And lo and behold, the next day, you know, I just happened to connect with him and, you know, he started helping me. And thank God, you know, because, like, who knows? Like, I know I wouldn't have given up, but who knows how much longer I would have struggled or how, whatever, you know. I don't know how that would have turned out, but I'm so glad that I was just coachable and that, you know, I took his advice and I applied it. And, you know, you guys, those of you who know me, you know the rest of the story. You know, like, I was able to quit my job within 30 days, put in my 2-week notice, which felt amazing. If you have a job right now and you want to do that, like, it feels so good to do that. Like, you can go to my YouTube channel. It's all on there. Like, I have videos on there of, like, me recording when I was driving to work on my last day, and like when I was walking into work, like I'm about to get my 2-week notice, and like it was like a really, really cool experience to do that and to inspire other people. And believe it or not, like, it's crazy because you don't realize by being here and being a part of Empower Network the people that you affect, whether you know it or not. Like, I've had people come up to me at events and they're like, "Oh, you're Kimberly Denise." I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, your video, like, where you had your first $1,500 day, like, that's what got me through. That's what, like, pumped me up, and, like, I stuck by because of that." Or the video of you quitting your job, like, I was like, "Yeah." Or, like, this one time I was in, I think it was at the Anaheim event. This lady came up to me. She was from France, and she's like, "Oh, Kimberly Denise." I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Everyone loves you in France." Like, someone had taken one of my videos, dubbed it in French, and like sent it out to their list, and it turns out like all these French people knew who I was, and they were using me for their marketing, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, it was crazy. It was just like, I think it was that same video, my first $1,500 day, where I was so upset but happy at the same time. Like, I was like, finally, you know, something crazy happened in my business, and it's only up from here. And so you don't know the people that you're going to affect, even with the little things that you share, and that's why it's important to create content, blog, and make videos, and do all this stuff. But, you know, that's why I always go back to it. It's got to be a reason bigger than yourself, and it's got to be a reason bigger than, oh, I want to make $5,000 to $10,000 a month, 20, however, whatever the income is. It's got to be bigger than that, because when you really begin to realize, like, you know, Paul tells a story too. I'll tell another story about Brian Kane. He's on the Dream Team. He recruited someone. I might not tell this accurately, but he recruited, I think, a woman who had vision problems. She couldn't really see very well, so it was hard for her to blog, but she was still sticking in the game and doing everything. And she was at an event. Long story short, Dave Wood, I think she was in the front row. Dave Wood said something like, what are you guys gonna do with like your income or something like that? And she's like, I just want to see, or something like that. Like, she just wanted to be able to see clearly. Like, how many of us are taking our vision for granted? I just want to say that right now. But anyways, and he looked at her and he pointed at her and was like, hey, what did you just say? And she's like, and she explained, I need vision surgery. I've been struggling with my vision for so many years. And he's like, how much is that going to cost? And she said like $8,000. And he's like, I'm going to pay for that for you. And like, had Brian not stayed in the game, had Brian not been consistent in the 8 core commitments, got to the events and done all that stuff in order to find this wonderful lady and bring her into the business and get her to the event, that life-changing moment and that life-changing surgery would not have happened for her. It's like all of these crazy things happen. You hear all these stories, and it's like, that's why it's so important just to not give up on yourself, but to see it from a bigger picture, see it from outside looking in, from afar. Like, if you're way out in space looking down on the Earth, how small everything looks, like if you're just looking at the whole picture that way, understanding how much of an impact you can have on the people around you, people you don't even know, and I'm sure, you're going to affect people that you might not ever hear about, but just know that you are, and you do. So that's why it's so important to be consistent. But I'm going to go over to Vari. I think I'm saying it right. Am I saying it Vari? Just give me your input on just, getting started and staying in the game long enough to get a result, to leverage that result, and what is your input for the people who are brand new to marketing in general and are looking for some reassurance that this is going to work for them?
Well, for me, when I first got started in marketing, it was a struggle. Um, I was really excited and I was like ready to go, but like I wanted to do everything. Like I wanted to do like build websites and get them, SEO and do these freebie sites and then I was actually in Empowered Network was actually my first company that I got into online, and I actually didn't have any contact whatsoever with my sponsor. I sent him a couple emails like, "Hey man, like I'm ready to go," like, but never got any responses from him. So I started blogging a little bit, and then I got distracted by this, and I got distracted by this. So I started grabbing at everything, and uh, and so after about like 4 or 5 months of pretty much like wasting money and learning a little bit about everything, but not enough to bring me any sort of results. Um, I really was at a point where I was just so frustrated. I was like, man, like I'm just ready to give up. Like I honestly don't think that this is possible. Like whatever these people are doing, I don't know if they, went to a voodoo doctor and got some sort of magical spell on them or whatever they're doing, whatever they're using. I don't have it, and I don't know how to get it. I don't know where to get it, and so this isn't for me. And I actually took a break for about 2 weeks, and I sat and I sulked and I felt sorry for myself for a really long time. And then my daughter came home from school one day, and she was like, Dad, are you gonna come to school tomorrow? And I said, for what? She said, it's Career Day. And I said, what? She says, Career Day. I said, Career Day? She said, yeah. I said, oh. I was like, well, baby, I really don't do anything. She's like, well, I told them you help people all day online. That's what you said you do. You help them, right? I said, yeah, I guess so. And so, I just started thinking like, what I mean, my daughter, like she's so innocent and like she doesn't like the stressors and like the pressures of life, like none of that stuff is affecting her right now. And I was just thinking like, what if I could just be like my daughter and attack this business a whole different way? Instead of thinking like I know everything or I need to know everything before I go out there and start doing stuff, I'm worried about what this person says. I'm worried about what my friends will say or my family will say. Like, what if I just did it? Like, what would happen? And so, it wasn't like overnight, like all of a sudden I was just out there and like a monster. I mean, like this, I mean, this was like 4 months ago still. So, I mean, I've been in marketing for like 9 months, almost a year now. And and so like what had happened is I decided that I was gonna start listening and start following some of the people who were having success. And one of the first things that stuck with me and that I started doing was listening to audios and doing my mindset training. And honestly, like I just had the hugest breakthrough yesterday, and like I mean, it's amazing. Like I just feel like there is no reason, right? Like our life is short, right? We don't have a lot of time when you think about it. The older you get, the more you realize how short life is. And there's no reason whatsoever that you should not do anything, everything possible in your power to go after what you want in life. And especially if you're trying to get something or build something for people you love, your family, whatever, that's all the more reason to get after it. And so um, lately, I've started to have some results, some pretty good results. And some of the things I've been doing to get those results uh, were using the people who are on my team or my mentors or whatever. I would use their results. I would repost their stuff and say, hey, I mean, look at so and so. They're doing awesome. I love this team, or I love this is my guy. He's showing me a lot or whatever. And I'll use their results because a lot of times people really can't tell the difference between your results and somebody else's results. And I started using that until I started getting my own. And then from there, I immediately used the results I was getting to get my next result. And and so what I would um, what I started to do uh, was design like something that worked for me that I could just start doing on a daily basis to start becoming consistent because that was a huge problem for me was consistency. I didn't have the habits when I first came into this industry. Like my habits were horrible. I was the biggest procrastinator, and I never made appointments. I was always late. Never kept my word. I mean, it was bad. And that's one of the things I love about this industry is that you're not just building wealth. It's like you're like rebuilding yourself. I mean, you're finding yourself. Well, let me speak for myself. I'm finding myself. All right, and it's been an amazing journey. And so I am so grateful. I am so grateful that I didn't give up when I wanted to. I didn't give up. And so, I mean, the best advice that I can give to anybody is not to give up. I mean, there's a story inside of Think and Grow Rich um, by Napoleon Hill, and he talks about these miners. And I'm not really sure on the details of the story, but talks about back in the gold rush, there's this guy and they owned a mine and they were on the trail of some gold and they were doing awesome. They were hitting it, and then it went cold, right? And they kept on looking for it, couldn't find it, and then the guy just gave up. I think he just ended up selling his mine to some other guy. And so, what this guy did is that he sold it to is he went and got somebody who knew about gold, right, and knew about geology and all that stuff. And so they went and did a survey, and the guy surveyed it and was like, you know what, they were so close to the gold, but it's like right over here, like 3 feet right over here. And so they started digging, and it was 3 feet away, and it was like the biggest, I think it was like the biggest find of gold. You know what I'm saying, during the gold rush. And so it was like that guy who had sold his mine, after that happened, he didn't quit, right? What he did is he used that and he learned from that and was like, you know what? Every time he wanted to quit, he just kept on remembering, like, what if I'm 3 feet from gold? You know what I'm saying? 3 feet from gold, just 3 feet. You know what I mean? And sometimes I think that it takes experiences like that, like heavy hidden experiences in our lives before we realize, certain things that just unlock certain parts of our personality or our minds that just lets us become beasts. And so, I mean, I think about that a lot, and just a lot of the audios I listen to just help out so much. I mean, it's just like on the days I feel like, you know what I mean, nobody cares about what I'm saying, like am I posting stuff that's even relevant? Then there'll be something that'll come up on the audio like, hey, you know what, be more confident in yourself. You're doing what you're doing and people love it. I'm like, all right, awesome. So yeah, you know, that's pretty much all I got. But yeah.
That's cool, and that actually gave me a couple of points to talk about. So I'm glad that you did, and thank you for sharing. Um, you know, at the time that we're struggling, and at the time that we're learning, and we're going through all this stuff that is not fun, um, we don't really think about this, but when I look back now, when I look back at like on the past, even the past 7 years, I learned a lot. There was a point where I was, this is crazy, but I was in this company and, didn't recruit a soul. I made some sales. Long story short, it's kind of complicated why I didn't make commissions on the sales that I made. But anyways, I just learned a lot from being around people who made a lot of money. I stuck around. I went to the meetings all the time, and I wasn't seeing success. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what more do I have to do? I was only like 18 at the time that I discovered network marketing, and so I kept going to the meetings, and it was a lot of personal development stuff. That's where I discovered personal development early. That's where I got my book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and was open to the world of, wow, you don't have to have a job to live your life here on earth. You can actually do something for yourself and make yourself rich instead of someone else. And so, just being around people that were successful and making more money than me, I got a lot out of that. But looking back now, I have a very interesting story to tell of all the stuff that I went through and got through. And that enables me to do a lot of different things. That enables me to inspire a lot of people that are maybe going through the similar things. That enables me to not take any excuses from anyone because I got through all those excuses. The people that come to me and say, well, my kids and this and that. I have 3 kids, I made it through. I have 3 kids. I had a job. I had no time, when really I had time, but I was just doing other things, there's no excuses because I got through them all. And back when I was getting through that, I didn't think of that at the time, but now I look back, I'm like, oh, I'm so glad, like, I went all out in March to find the money to get to Chicago, because now I can tell people, like, just do whatever it takes, because that's what I did. Like, what kind of hypocrite would I be if, let me just say this, how inspiring would it have been if I was like, hi, I'm Kimberly Denise, what's going on, guys, been in the business for about 12 months. My first month I made $20,000, and it's been great ever since. It was just so easy. I came online and just started making money right away, and this whole thing has been so easy. So, like, how inspiring would that be to anyone? Like, everyone would be like, oh, great, there's another lucky, person that, somehow gets results right away. For the rest of us, it doesn't happen like that. So I'm glad that, I didn't succeed the first month or even the first 9 months, and it's weird that it was 9 months because that's like the gestation period of, like a child. But anyways, I don't know why I thought about that right now. But so just know that, like, the stuff that you're going through, and if you're here a year from now, the next 12 months is going to be you and your story, and you have whatever else has gone on in the past couple of years to add to that too. But you're going to help a lot of people with the things that you choose and make a decision to get over and get past. You're going to affect a lot of lives and a lot of people by being able to see the seed of opportunity in every defeat. Like Napoleon Hill says in that book, that there's a seed of equal opportunity in every single obstacle that or every single, I don't know, am I saying the right word? Not obstacle, but in every, negative situation, basically. There's always some kind of seed of opportunity in it, or some kind of positive thing that the situation can be turned around, no matter how negative it looks, right? So, you made me think about that, and yes, audio is so important to be, whether if you're in the inner circle, awesome, dive into the inner circle, dive into that, speak your world into existence, literally, I myself, Paul, our teammates, when they were staying here with us, we would listen to that audio every single day without fail. And what it is, if you haven't heard it, is Dave Wood talks about when he was first getting started. It's hard to believe that, Dave really was homeless in a van a couple of years ago, and he wasn't, he didn't have the success that he has now, but he literally did just tell himself every single day, I don't care, 2 sales a day is easy, every single day. He just kept telling himself that it was easy, and eventually, somehow, after him, it didn't just fall into his lap. He was putting in the work, he was doing the training, he was applying and taking action, And eventually it started happening, and that's what's happened for Paul. He would always go around this house and screw it, 2 cells a day is easy, and him and Nene Dito made a rap song about it, and they were always just like 2 cells a day is easy, 2 cells a day is easy, and lo and behold, 2 cells roll into our back office every single day now, and have for the past like month and a half, and we're like, wow, like this stuff works. So listening to audio is so important because whether you want to believe it or not, however old you are, take back, even since infancy, being around our parents and the people who are around us and whatever kind of things were going on around us, our environment, we've been programmed ever since then. Whatever result you have now is the result of that programming that you were put through. So if you're broke and struggling right now, it's all because the blueprint inside your mind has been wired to give you that result. So how do you get a new result? You have to change the wiring. You got to switch some stuff out. You got to take some stuff out and throw it away. You got to replace some things in there. And how do you do that? You have to get around people who know some things that you don't. You got to learn from people. And the easiest way to be mentored by someone who has amazing results is to listen to audio, watch videos, hop on YouTube. There's tons of stuff on YouTube, but if you have the inner circle in particular, it's so powerful because not only, yes, you position yourself to make $100 a month as part of your residual income here with Empower Network, but the audio's in it, but some of the stories are incredible, and just hearing, how all these people have built their businesses, most of them from zero, most of them from, not having any success online before, they built these incredible businesses online, and you get to hear about it, and you get to hear just, like, literally, guys, like, driving around in my car, like, there was a time where, I was just getting depressed, and I was, I don't know, I just remember being in my car, and, like, I would always, like, I refused to listen to the radio for the longest time, I would still listen to certain songs on like, my MP3 player now and then, but turn off the radio, had no cable bill, completely shut that off, and I was determined. Like, I knew my mind was messed up. Like, I knew I needed to learn something new, so, that inner circle, like, dialing into it, turning it on every single day, whether it was inner circle or other audio, but the inner circle in particular, just because this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to make Empower Network work in my life, and so just listening to that every single day, it was just so reassuring that, no, I can make this happen, and hearing the passion in everyone's voice, and just, and it's more than just fluff. It's plenty of strategy and gold nuggets in there. If you really listen to it, like, you can listen to an inner circle audio 3 different times and learn more and more and more each time. And in personal development in general, that happens, because what happens as you listen to something and you learn a new concept, you actually build new brain cells, and then you go and listen to it again, and then you hear it from another perspective, and then you learn something else, and then you listen to it again. And so that's why people, some people, like Bob Proctor, for example, he says he reads Think and Grow Rich every single day, and has ever since he discovered that book. And he's how old now? Like, we need to go see him this year just to be sure we can see him. I don't know how old he is now, but he says he still reads it to this day. He still reads it every day. So, but yeah, so personal development and audio in general is so important. It's a key to success. And if you're not doing it now, make sure. It's one of the 8 core commitments, and it is for a reason, because it works. It really, really does. And anyone who has success here, they plug in audio every single day, whether it's you're cleaning your house, you just have it on the background, or you have it on the night while you're sleeping, just get it in somehow. Make the time for it, because it's so important. But Tracy, really quick, I just want to check with you, because I don't even know what time it is over there where you're at, and I did want you to share something with us. I don't know, do you have to hop off soon, or are you going to be here with us for the remainder of that hangout?
I'll be with you for a little while. It's about 11:23 right now here in Bermuda, but I'm here to watch everything what's going on.
Awesome. Okay, very cool. Okay. Now, while I have you unmuted, and then we have William here too, I just want to ask you guys, for the team that is watching, and I commend you guys for getting on here, because, sometimes it's intimidating to come live in front of everybody. But, and I'll ask Tracy first, and we'll go over to William. Just to add your little 2 cents on just, being committed to a result, being committed to a goal that you have. Is there something specific that you have decided here with your business with Empower Network? Are there certain goals that you're committed to? Are there certain special things that you do to remind yourself of why you're here, or anything like that you think the team might find valuable?
Yes, I'm kind of new with Empower Network right now. I'm working 3 jobs right now, and I need to find a way to cut these shows down. So I went out and bought the event ticket for North Carolina, and I'm gonna go out and watch every single successful person who's better than me. I'm gonna take every single note that they say, and I'm gonna come back to Bermuda. I'm gonna do exactly what they say. I'm not gonna take no shortcuts, because if I take any shortcuts, it's not gonna work. Even when I'm on Facebook, it shows you who's on the leaderboard. I go and add them as a friend, and I watch exactly what they do. And this is helping me out a lot right now. I've been in Empower Network for about 3 weeks right now, and I see people clicking my site. I see me getting more better. I put a website together. I never done that before in my life, and it actually works. And I just want to go much further in this business, and I'm going to go all in. I'm just done. I'm probably up to maybe inner circle right now, but I'm going to go all in, and I'm going to finish the Hill course, and hopefully everything will work out. But I'm loving this company right now.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Thank you for sharing that. And yeah, I mean, no, I just want to throw a little reminder in there because I learned the hard way that the minute I had that conversation with Paul, and he helped me to realize how easy it could be to get all in after all that time. After all that time of saying, I can't afford it, I'm too broke, and whatever crazy stuff I was telling myself. And isn't that crazy? Like that whole 9 months, 10 months I was struggling, like I was telling myself, even though I didn't really realize it at the time, but I was, because I didn't sit there and look at myself in the mirror and be like, you can't go all in, you can't afford it. But I was just saying like, I'm never gonna be able to get all in. Like I'm just so broke, and like I was just focused on the wrong stuff. And the minute that I just changed the focus, and I saw that that's what I needed to do, and some leader was telling me that I needed to do that, and he had results, and I just put it all together. I'm like, I just got to do it. And the moment I made the decision to do it, my brain just started coming up with all these ideas of like how I can get money and stuff. And that's just the way that it works when you do make a decision to just think something different, tell yourself something different, and to stop, telling yourself all those the negative thoughts. And but we'll switch over to William. Man, I have some cool things that I need to write this down really quick because Vari, you brought something up about just here. I'm going to tell you guys really quick what it's about because I'll forget. I want to talk about what you said. I want to elaborate a little bit more on what you said about sharing your teammates' results because it's really, really important. So if you guys can help me remember that, we're going to go to William. We're going to have him share, and then we're going to dig into actually some of the action stuff that we can do this week for those of you who are tuned in for those items. But go ahead, William. Share with us your wisdom. And I loved your video. If you guys haven't seen his video, I'm sure if you go over to his Facebook page and or profile and check out, there's a video somewhere on there. He can tell us the title, but I was like, hey, whose video is that? And Paul's like, oh, William, he just joined yesterday. I'm like, huh? What? Like I was blown away. This video is amazing, and just it's so cool to like have somebody come in and like the next day they're like taking massive action like that, and just I just want to say to you like. For you, like I definitely see like for everyone, but for you, because you did that and just the way that you spoke on the video and everything like that, I just want to let you know that like the sky's the limit for everybody, but I just want to take a minute to recognize you for that and just to let you know, we're here almost face to face, on this Google Hangout, but I want to tell you that, just stay plugged in and you can be like one of the next Justin Varengias and these people who have a vision, because it takes some time for people to come up with that, and you seem to already have that, and that's so attractive to people. Like if I was in Empower Network and I saw that video, I'd be like, hey, who's this guy? I need to figure out whatever the heck he knows, and I need to join him. Like, so you need to know that you have that. So leverage that skill that you have of communication and just making a video. And anyhow, I'll let you talk now. But go right ahead. Share with us your wisdom for those who are just getting started in business and stuff.
Thank you very much. Well, basically that video, I have absolutely no idea where that video came from. It kind of just came from my mind. I mean, first let me give you guys a little bit of background about like who I am, where I'm from, and everything like that. I'm from Paterson, New Jersey. If you don't know anything about Paterson, New Jersey, it's a pretty crappy ghetto. Can't stand that place. And growing up here, it was a pretty, difficult, gig going out here, and by the time I was about 18 years old, went out and I joined United States Air Force, and I thought that's what I wanted to do at the time. It wasn't until a couple years down the road and I came back home I realized it's not really what I wanted to do. And I saw a couple of my friends that are just on the internet, that are kind of just making money nonstop with just talking to people, posting up pictures and things like that, and I quickly got into that. And believe it or not, this is actually my second time in Empower Network. Empower Network was actually, in fact, Empower Network was I think it was the second or the first network marketing company it was the second. It was the second marketing company I came into. And the first time I came in, I didn't really do too well because, one, I had no idea what the heck I was doing. And the sponsor that I had at the time, I'm not going to put him on blast, but the guy, basically did a ninja trick and disappeared. God knows where he is today. And, I kind of was lost, so it took me a while to kind of, figure this whole game out, for a long time, I always felt that I had the ability to just, say whatever the hell's on my mind and somehow put it together where people can kind of understand it, you know what I mean? And a few days ago, when Paul, I don't even remember how Paul found me, to be honest. I think I added him somehow, or he added me, or whatever, and we just started talking. I was like, this is a pretty cool guy, and he's like, hey man, I'm one of the top earners in Empower Network, and I'm like, oh, that's bull. You know how many times I've heard that, and I actually go on Dave Wood's page and I see Dave Wood like, hey man, this guy Paul is like setting stuff on fire, and I'm like, this guy's not bullshit. He's for real. Like, he really is, the next big thing here, So I started talking with him. I was like, okay, so you really are like the top earner right now. And I was like, okay, so I tried Empower Network before in the past, and it kind of didn't really work out for me. And it's not that I quit, but it's like I had no idea where I was going. And from that time when I joined, about maybe 4 years ago, I've been in about maybe 10 or 12 different network marketing companies. You name it, I've most likely been in it at some point. And I've learned a couple tricks here and there along the way. But one thing I'm starting to slowly realize now, because you're not the first person to tell me this. I've had several YouTube channels before in the past, putting out videos, teaching people about all different kinds of subjects, from politics to law to God knows whatever just so happens to be on my mind at the time. But I personally never really felt it was that big of a deal. And the reason why I believe that is because it was usually around like a circle of friends that would tell me this. And Paul told me, he was telling me, I want you to check out this this seminar by Bob Proctor, the You Were Born Rich. Some of you guys probably saw this one. And he says, I want you guys to really check. He's like, I want you to check out this this seminar, and I want to see how much it really changes you. And when he showed it to me the first time, I was like, look, this reminds me a lot of The Secret. I seen The Secret before, and don't get me wrong, The Secret was good, but it just didn't really speak to me. I kind of just felt it was like one of those mumbo jumbo kind of think positive and things just kind of happen. And the way Bob Proctor really broke down that entire seminar, it literally blew my mind tremendously. And I just felt so compelled to like want to try and say something about it. And Paul was like, take your time while you watch this thing, watch it when you can. I'm like, nah, forget that, Paul. Like, listen, you probably don't know me, bro, but it's like, I really am not digging my situation right now, bro. Like, I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna crush this thing all night. I'm gonna watch this whole 9-11-hour seminar in one day. And I'm pretty sure at some point Paul thought I was probably just, blowing smoke. But, I watched the whole thing, and it was great. I didn't even know how I was going to put this video together, honestly, because the computer that I'm using right now, it's a little piece of trash that I got. That I literally found it in the street and put it together with, like, just parts that I found just lying around. And, I spent literally 15 hours trying to get this video just to render. I recorded it with one of my mother's cameras and stuff, and I had to, try and make this thing work. And I said, you know what, I'm going to put this video together, and hopefully someone out there is going to like it. And, sure enough, people did like it. People liked it, and it inspired me enough to say, you know what, if people really like this, I'm going to try and put the skills that I've got to the test. And, I'm going to try and build a website. I know how to do WordPress sites and things like that, but I never actually, applied myself, and after watching that seminar, I started to see things totally differently. That it's like literally, it's the truth. It's what you have inside that matters. And forget about everybody else. Like given the circumstance that I'm in right now, and how bad things are, I can't really look at it that way, because I'm beginning to realize now after watching that it's like, what kept me in this situation for so long was the outlook that I had on my current situation. I'm constantly looking at it like, holy crap, my car's a piece of trash, I got into an accident, the cops are banging on my door, you got to go to court, all kinds of nonsense, you don't have any cash, and I'm constantly focusing on these things, and nonstop I'm just, remanifesting these things into my life. And when I started to see how Bob broke this down in a way where he states that if you focus on the negative and you absolutely apply all of your thoughts into the negative, the only thing you're going to get is the negative. And as I started to see this, I started saying to myself, if I really applied myself in a certain way, and I do what I should be doing, I most likely probably won't be in this situation. I shouldn't be where I am right now, given the amount of time that I've been doing network marketing. I've had some successes in the past, I've had some failures in the past, but it comes down to one thing, and it comes down to the mindset. If you think to yourself like, well, look, if I'm going to go out and I'm going to talk to like 20 people today and nobody's going to hit me up, and I'm going to get into all these back and forth arguments of whose company's better and things like that, I'm going to remain right where I'm at. And now that I've seen that, I'm looking at this whole thing like it's a game. It's kind of like a video game. That's a pretty cynical way of looking at it, but I see it as a way where the only way that I could become better is not to necessarily compare myself to the successes of someone who's doing better, like let's say Paul or any of the other guys on the panel here, but it's to judge myself based on what I've done the day before or several days before in the past, and see what I can do to make myself achieve obstacles and get to where I got to go. I feel like I can go on for hours talking about a lot of things, but I'm going to cut it short. All I want to say, guys, is you really gotta honestly tune in to what it is that you want in life, and so long as you stay focused on that goal, you have no choice but to hit it. Like if you're practicing to be a marksman and you're aiming for the target and you can't really hit that target, you say, what, I can't use a shotgun, I can't use a rifle, I'm going to pick up a handgun, I'm going to pick up a bow and arrow. You try all these different kinds of things, you're never going to master one of them. You're just going to constantly miss your mark because you're not thinking straight, you're not doing it right. So focus. That's all I can really say. That's all I can really say for now. And thanks for having me on the panel.
That's awesome. I'm trying to find the computer's going slow again. I'm trying to find a little clappy thing. Hold on a second. That's cool though. And yeah, if you guys haven't watched that seminar yet, again, another free resource on YouTube. Bob Proctor's Born Rich, but it completely, I first saw that thing back in like October. Never heard of it until Vic Streisels recommended it to us, and then I watched it, and I'm like, wow, because I was somewhere where I was having trouble connecting this whole, I was still kind of like, I don't really know about this whole law of attraction thing. I don't really know if it's real, and I wasn't sure, but he really goes into it. I'm one that if I see scientific formulas and stuff like that, and if I see stuff like that, I can make more sense of things, and that's exactly what he does. Is he shows you how it's actually scientific that this is the way the mind works, whether you want to believe it or not. It's how the actual mind works. So when you see that, hold on, there it is. That's for you, William. But when you see that, it just helps you to believe it so far. But Paul just popped up here. I don't know, what we've been talking about is what new people need to do to just to commit, something that I've said is, be here a year from now and, get through all those obstacles, get through the things that are going to come up, and be resilient in your business. So everybody shared what their little tidbits on that. I don't know if you want to put your input before we move on to the next portion.
Yeah, absolutely. And sorry guys for coming on late. I've kind of had a bad day, and I normally don't have those. I usually sincerely, I haven't had today has been probably one of the worst days since I've been in entrepreneurship. Not really so much because of the success I'm having or anything personal going on. I had a really big lesson today where I found myself in a place of just, I'm looking around and I'm like, wait, this is a little too good to be true, because I'm so new to the massive success that we're getting now. And I guess like my paradigm and just my old habits were trying to keep me from like striving from going further. So I was like, in a way, kind of like self-sabotaging my own success and like just having these crazy thoughts in my mind. And I've just been like, having to lay low all day. And, even though fantastic, I'm very grateful. We had a income disclosure really quick. Just because we make money doesn't mean that you'll make money. We have an income disclosure all the way at the bottom of this page. But I mean, yeah, today we had like a $750 day, and that's cool, right? But that's that's still not that's still not going to be a solution to things that are deeper than that. So like I found myself just creating just self-sabotage, because we find ourselves in life at a point where we start getting a glimmer of hope, a glimmer of possibility, right? And sometimes, out of fear of what we are capable of, we retract back to where we were, or retract back to where we once were. And because, we've been beaten up, whether it's by other MLMs, or maybe your sponsor went into the witness protection program like Prempy William over here, right? And, and you just have all the, and you deal with these people in MLM, or you're somebody that's been beat up by a job, by family and friends, and you're older, and you've been beaten up, and then you start, seeing opportunity, with us, or even in in Empower in general, and everything in your heart and soul is telling you to go for it. Everything in your heart and soul is telling you to go to the event, but there's just something inside of you that is stopping you. Right? And, I found myself in that situation today, even after, over a year of being in the business, where I found myself like self-sabotaging myself from reaching to the next phase of my business, and I took a lot of time to reflect. I feel a little better now, which is why I wanted to come on the Hangout. And I think it's perfect because, maybe there's people watching this Hangout right now sitting at home, and they are in the position where they feel like they're sabotaging their own success because maybe they don't feel like they are worthy of it or they deserve it, because all of our lives we've never been in a position to ever feel like we're worthy of this kind of lifestyle. And I'll tell you what, that's something that you still may even battle through. That's still something, even after you have success, you'll still battle through. It's just some of those things that we have to convince ourselves, because, listen, you guys are here for a reason. You guys are certainly not here to waste our time, and hopefully you're not here to waste yours. And our job is to help you guys succeed, is to give you the exact resources, suggestions, and advice for you to literally go out there and create the same exact result. I realized something, right? Crossing over from the failure zone to the success zone is that it's a decision. It's nothing else. It's a decision, right? The decision to go to the event even though you're broke. The decision to go to the event and doing something new with your life, meeting new people, getting out of your comfort zone. The decision to saying, you know what, I'm done buying my excuses. I'm done. Because here's the truth. It's usually only one thing that holds us back. It's not like multiples of things. It's usually one thing. And the question is, what were you not willing to do to succeed? Because here's the thing, is that when you become a person that chooses not to be typical, like every single one of you has the same power that all of the successful leader has. The difference is that successful people are aware of it. Successful people are aware of the same power that every single human being on the planet is aware of. Some people will be like, well, Paul, what about the kids in Africa? Right? They got the same power too, but they will most likely never have the awareness or opportunity to do it because of where they live. See, we're in the land of America. We're literally in the land of opportunity. America. And most Americans, what are they doing? They're sleeping, right? While you have immigrants who come into a business, right? Or you have, immigrants and people that are out of the country that come in and take full advantage of the opportunities that are here. So what I'm telling you is this, right? Because, finally reaching the massive amount of level of success that we currently have now, I believe like this month we're definitely already hit like $16,000 this month so far. just in commissions. And you know, that may be even including the bonuses, and who knows what more bonuses are to come. But the truth is that there's a difference. And the difference is in the decisions that you make now, the decisions that you make today. Because I'll tell you this, is that, you know, you might be sitting at home right now, you might be saying, well, a decision, like, what does that have to do with my success? The truth is that that's the only difference between any of us. That's the only difference between me and you. Like, we're the same type of people, right? Like, I'm not Paul, I'm not light-skinned, right? But like, when you strip down the culture and the clothes, we're essentially all of the same. And the truth is that everybody has the same potential. Everybody has the same power. Now, if you're somebody that like believes in like karma or genetic transmutations, where you take on the habits and the gene habits of your parents, that's one thing too. But the truth is that everybody can tap into the power, and the only way that they can tap into that power is by surrounding yourself with people who are enlightened or awakened, if you may, if you're somebody that's new agey, or somebody that's fully consciously aware of what's really going on, right? Because I'll tell you this, you know, sometimes in life you only get 2 opportunities. Now, there's lucrative opportunities that come your way every day. You see them all the time, right? If you're on Facebook and social media, you got, you know, shiny ball syndrome everywhere. Everybody's promoting everything, and everybody thinks that their program is the mother of all programs, right? So, you know, we see opportunities everywhere. However, we usually only get 2 to capitalize on. Okay? I don't know if this is your first, and I don't know if this is your second. But I'll tell you this, is that this is my last rodeo. I ain't going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to go promote something else. I'm not. Look. We've grown a lot since Team Blade has started. In the past, Amber has been through the ups and downs of Team Blade, where we even changed the name to, what was it? I don't even remember. Like Empower State of Mind, and then what else was it? Dang, what was your team name, Kim? Fit and Rich Crew. That's right. Yeah, so we've been through a lot of phases and transitions, because here's the thing, guys, is that nobody else is going to be responsible for our success but us. So in order for us to go through those challenges, that means we're moving forward. We've been through the rough times of building a business, so we understand what it takes to succeed now. That's what the benefit of sticking around for a year does, especially with the correct information in regards to marketing. Here's the deal. When you go to an event, or you decide to meet us there no matter what, it doesn't matter what position you're in, and you surround yourself with those people, and you get social proof, you take pictures with them, you learn from them, you spend your time with them, your income is going to be a reflection of that. If you're somebody, but not just from 1 time or 2 times going, you have to be consistent. You have to be consistently in the game with them, right? You got to be building a business with the leaders. That's what Empower Network is doing. They're building a business just like we are. You got to be in there in the trenches with them. You got to go where they go. You got to do what they do. All of the top earners, if you're somebody that wants $10,000 a month, what I want you to do, right, is log into your back office, and there should be like a click to register button on the left-hand side. Click the button, and then you'll be redirected to a video of David Wood telling you why you need to be there, right? Watch the video, and there should be like a credit card button right there too, where you can put your CVV information. Click that button, and then fill out the credit card form and just buy your ticket tonight, right? If you're somebody that's serious, that's what I expect you guys to do. Anybody that wants to specifically work with me on a close basis, because the truth is, guys, is that, you know, your life can change in a moment. Listen. I was recruiting about 10 to 15 people for about a year. Like, some months I would have massive months, and then other months it would slow down. I was like a yo-yo, right? Biggest month was $11,989, broke the record last month, right? But the biggest month was, up until that point, was 11 grand, and I only did it twice through a 1-year period. Through 12 months, I've only made 2 5-figure months. The rest were up and down 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 2,000, 3,000, just it never stabilized. And, you know, it took, you know, and I've been to events, right? Like Amber's been to events. There's people that have gone to events and still have not broken through. Now, being on the other side of success, being on the side of success and not failure, I can tell you from a mature perspective, from just based on experience, when you are somebody that chooses to not be typical, that chooses, the word is choice. Choice, my friends. It's a choice. When you choose to not be typical, your results will not be typical. What does a not typical person do? If you want to avoid being typical, you're somebody that makes a decision right now, that you're going to meet us at that next event, and you're going to meet us at the next event, and then you're going to go to the next event after that, and you're going to commit to every event. Because I'm going to tell you this, is that if you expect a breakthrough in your business, your mind has to expand. You have to stretch. You have to get around people that are going to look at you straight in the eye and say, Vori, you are a 5-figure per month earner. That's what we need. That's what the entrepreneur community really needs. They need people believing in other people, because you know what? If you don't believe in yourself, which most people don't, because we live in a society that desensitizes all of people's belief, God is at an all-time low right now, my friends. That's the truth. Because if everybody knew who was walking with them on the journey to prosperity, we would all be rich. But why don't people take action now? Why? They don't believe. They don't trust. They don't have faith. They don't understand what the application of faith is in their business. So you might be somebody right now, and I don't care where you are. You may be living in a dumpster eating pizzas. You may be somebody that is homeless right now. If you can look up, you can get up, and you can make a decision to do whatever it takes. Listen, friends, when I first got started, I was $179 literally left to my name. I quit my job, and I did not get paid my last 2 paychecks. I owed 2 months of rent, and I was going to get kicked out the very next month. I could not buy groceries. I was building my business eating ramen noodles, eating peanut butter, and drinking water out of the sink and the toilet. I was almost to the point of losing my mind. Actually, I did, and I went to a mental institution as a result of all of the stress that I was on, because I couldn't. Oh, and I just had a baby too. And my bosses stole my last 2 checks, and I was failing in MMA, and I had problems with my family. That will get to you if you're normal. That'll get to you if you're a human being. The truth is that if I can go from there, from making $2,000 a month at a cell phone kiosk, working 40 hours a week, never even believe. First of all, let me say this: I never even believed that I was worthy of $1,800 a month. I worked for 2 strict, corrupt. I'm not even going to say that. I'm not even going to say anything else but that. 2 people. She knows. She's smiling. She's like, "Oh, I know." Right? And a funny story about them too. We used to sell cell phones out of a kiosk, and their quota was to get 2 sales a day. So I was just like, "Oh, cool. 2 sales a day here is going to be easy." That's a whole nother game, So, yeah, some of you are like, "Oh, well, he had the competitive edge with selling." Yeah, maybe, a little, not really. The truth is that it gave me the drive, but internet marketing it's exactly that. It's internet marketing. You have to learn that skill. So, guys, I was there. I remember there was times while I was building my business, especially the first 90 days, that I would sit there and I would look at my bank account. Maybe a quarter, maybe $1. All of the money that I was using was going back into myself, into my business, or saving to go to the event. In fact, my first event was Austin, Texas, and I didn't have enough money to go there. I had to borrow it, because I knew up until that point the decisions that I was making prior to that were getting me shitty results. Right? Look, here's the truth. You have to become somebody that becomes obsessed with getting to know yourself and obsessed with success and studying successful people. Because you're going to find a golden thread that all successful people have, and it's very similar. In fact, it's almost the same. So it's almost like monkey see, monkey do. Wait, you're telling me that all I have to do is do exactly what you do and I'll win? Yep. Look, listen, if you do your 8 core commitments, you go to the event, you see what you need to see. Because look, my life changed, and I'll go back to my story a little later, because some of you guys already know it, and I've repeated it for almost a year. When I saw Michelangelo reach out to me, right? He's somebody that has made $600,000 in the Empower Network already. He's only been in a year. $600,000. That man averages around $40,000, $50,000 a month right now, right? He's about to go to $100,000 a month. When he showed me his back office of a strategy that he was doing in regards to like email marketing, and I saw him literally recruit 20 people in one day, that gave me the belief that I needed to go out there and do the exact same thing. And that was even afterwards. Here at the events, and Amber, you missed the Miami one, they did exactly that. Where they literally did workshops of people creating results live for you, or showing you what they do live, or showing you what they're doing right now. And that stretched a lot of people. But not just that, right? Then when you go to an event, you see normal people who has been in worse situations than what you're probably in right now. There's an Australian lady who had spinal disease who's making $30,000 a month while working on her side on a bed, and Amber can prove that. So can Kim. Christina Munoz. There's a blind guy making $5,000 a month who hired somebody to work his business for him because he believes in the vision. There's a 12-year-old who uses his dad's account and makes $3,000 a month. The stories go on. There's a quadriplegic who types on a damn keyboard with a straw in his mouth, making money with Empower. I took a picture with him. I saw it with my own two eyes. Then I looked at myself and said, what excuse do I have? It sounds to me like I'm bigger than the excuses that I'm giving. Right? You know, if you're somebody that has been, with a spoon in your mouth your entire life, then no wonder you're struggling in your business. But if you're somebody that has a lot of pain, who has so much pain that they wish that it could stop right now, you can use that pain. You can use that pain and drive it forward into your business. You can, because you can get angry enough, just like this story, right? And I've said this before, some of you may not have heard this, but there's this guy who owns an old Labrador dog, and he used to invite all of his friends to his house, and his friends would notice that the dog would whimper all the time. And he's like, why is your dog whimpering all the time? The owner of the dog said, oh, he's just laying down on a piece of nail. He's like, why is he doing that? He's like, oh, I don't really know. He's a weird dog. He's like, why doesn't the dog just get up? The owner of the dog says, oh, Yeller, he's not in enough pain yet to get up yet. Right? Kind of like some of you. Not in enough pain to move a finger. Right? Because I'll tell you this, is that you'll either learn two ways. You'll learn from Empower. You're going to go out there and make a decision to meet us at the event right now by logging into your back office and meeting us there and seeing what I saw that transformed my life. A college dropout who only graduated high school with a 2.9, never had any reason to believe that I could even do it. Who am I? I'm nobody. And then somehow, some way, 1 year later, being in a business, 1 year. Some of you guys have been in for years. Kimberly's been in for 7. Right? There's something powerful that happens at events, and when you get around people that are going to look at you straight in the eye and give you that belief, because you're going to leave that event a changed person, and you have to change if your results want to change too. So, look. I didn't come in here to yell at y'all. I came on here to just be brutally honest, because the truth is that there's going to be people that just made a decision. They just made a decision to do whatever it takes. Because what is entrepreneurship really? We are here to empower the hell out of you, to give you the confidence that you need to go out there and create the result that you want to create. Because the results that you have right now in your life is a reflection of how you feel about you. Period. Nothing more. It's all self-worthiness, my friends. I was suffering with that today, right? To the point where me and Kim were even going at it earlier. Trying to leave her. That crazy shit. Yeah, we all have problems. We all have problems. Right now I'm in California and my baby girl's in Tennessee. And I don't even get to spend time with her because we have issues with the baby mama. Right? I have problems just like everybody else. But at least I can show up with my problems, because that's what like Kim, she has this, her husband asking for money because he's broke, all these things, and I can say, you know what, hey, let me help him.
Throw the X in there. Ex-husband.
Ex-husband. Well, yeah, sure. Ex-husband, right? But why? And I don't feel bad about it at all. Like there was a point where like she owed him money, or Kim owed him money. It was an issue. It's not an issue because we have money in the bank. You know, now we didn't have it before. So look. When you can talk like this, when you're willing to, like, for instance, William, your video was phenomenal. You need to get in front of the right people, bro. And you need to meet the right people. You do. Because that video that I saw is you. The problems that you currently have right now is not you, my friend. It's not you. That's not you. You need to become who you really are, and you need help to get there. Right? So what I want you to do is to promise me that you're going to do whatever it takes, because I have friends that literally used up their last money. They were broke at the events. I was broke at my first event too. They were broke to the point that he even slept in his car and showered on the beaches with the bums to go to the event. And now, right, 3 months later, started making $4,000 or $5,000 a month, and currently today, a year later, around $10,000 a month. Why? Right? Because they had faith. They made a decision that they were going to do whatever it took for a year. Everything it took. They look back a year later, their life completely changed. Every single person's life can change now. You just got to be willing to be uncomfortable for a little while, right? A little uncomfortable, but then you'll get used to being uncomfortable, and then that's when your bank account will grow. Like once you like make decisions, you're like, the event, easy. Like once you can make that decision, no problem, done. Once you can make that decision to go all in, listen. When I first went all in, right, and I was broke. I didn't have any money. I had $179. I invested into the blog and the inner circle. Okay? From there, that's all I could do. That is all I could do. Some of you invested way higher than I did, right? Bless you. Because the truth is a lot of people cannot do that. And I'm speaking to the people that right now that they can't do much, because I want you to tell you that just because you're at the low level right now, that does not mean that anybody is better than you. It just means that you are on your own personal journey, that when you get over, you'll be able to hop on a hangout just like this one and tell somebody else that they can do it because you know how it feels to be at the bottom. And that is what Empower Network is all about. And that's what we're about. That's what I believe in. I believe in giving people that razor's edge, giving people that belief and the confidence that they need to go out there and start making it happen for themselves. If you want to make it happen fast here, there's a lot of quick ways to do it. Sincerely, there is, right? The quickest and most fastest way is to go all in, absolutely, right? I want to talk to you guys about that, and I want to talk to you guys about if you're somebody who is not financially where you need to be to make that decision on how you can be, right? And we'll talk to Kim and we'll talk to a couple more leaders, you know, if they decide to hop on. However, let me say this before we finish, right? Let me say this, is you guys can make a lot of money, a lot of it, a lot, okay? The reason why me and Kim are producing like we do is because we made a decision for the next 90 days that that's all we're going to do, literally. Day in, day out, my life, right, consists of helping people every day get started. That's my mindset, every day. And because I'm not consumed by anything else, I put all my selfish activities to the side, whether it was watching TV, right, or going out with my friends, or going to the clubs, or training MMA all the time, right? I don't do it as often now because I'm on to something bigger than that right now, right? That's what you have to do if you want to get on this level. Seriously. Look, I want to talk to you like your family. Like if you were like my brothers and sisters. I really want to talk to you like straight up. Because I don't want you to think that you're in a push-button software company. It's not like that. This is a real company that takes real work ethic, and you'll get real results. The cool thing is that if you put the work ethic for a specific period of time with everything that you got, the payoff is cool. And usually like that kind of work ethic and the focus, which William talked about earlier and Bori talked about, is 90 days. 90 days of literally 3 months a semester in school. You guys can handle a semester in school. Like, nobody here wants to go to school, right? It's because you're here at Empower, obviously. You don't really like school, right? Or you'd be at a JOB right now if you did. But yeah, you guys can change your life. It doesn't matter what level you're in, right? You know, I was broke, and I used all of the money that I was making online to reinvest back into my business. I looked around, and I was looking at, okay, what can I do to sell something? Because I probably have a lot of useless stuff, like clothes, like this shirt. When I bought this shirt, it was $75. I bought this 2.5 years ago. That's how you know where my mindset was. I was buying all this expensive nonsense, broke the entire time, but buying it because I felt like that's the only thing I could, you know, some of you guys may relate with that. But look, listen, for 90 days, right, for 90 days, if you commit, magical things are going to happen. Because if you're somebody that commits right now and makes the decision to not just go to the event, but to go all in, somehow your business will naturally start changing. It'll become simple. The only thing that's usually stopping you from making your business simple and creating a result is the decisions that you've made up until this point, right? If you're complicating the business, but you know you're at the $25 level, and then you're trying to figure out everything out, guys, all of the information that you need is in the products. It's in the products. It's in everything that you need. And when you invest in yourself, all of a sudden your value starts increasing. Your value starts increasing into the marketplace. You start feeling better about who you are. You're somebody that's worthy of investing into. So when you are putting out your message out there, people will want to invest in you because they see that you're somebody of value. That's the only reason why you guys made the decision to invest. At the end of the day, no other reason, right? People don't join companies, they join the person because they want to feel how that person feels. They want to be able to convey that internal value to the market. They want to be able to look as good and feel as good. They want what you have, right? But if you're somebody that is promoting, you know, poverty, if you're talking about your problems, or if you're actively talking about your problems on Facebook, then you're wondering why you're not getting results. Nobody wants to join an Eeyore, right, from Winnie the Pooh. Nobody wants to join, you know, a Negatron, a Debbie Downer. Nobody wants to join a damn Debbie Downer. You want to be a passionate mother effer. They want to join the passionate person. They want to join the person that knows where they're going. They want to join the person that says, get to the event, you will succeed with me, that's it, period. That's who they want to join. They want to join somebody that knows where they're going. They want to join somebody that takes action now. That's who they want to join. I'm telling you. Because, look, people join people, yes. But people join leaders even more, right? Look, we're at like 60 signups right now for the month, our biggest month ever so far. And right now, we haven't even really been pushing it this week. Next week it's on because we're going for 100, right? But for a reason, is because we have done everything that other leaders who came before us told us to do, are getting the results that we want, and we're just modeling and doing the same thing. We show up to every event. That's it, period. We're not going to make excuses on why we can't go. We're just going to go every time. That's one of the reasons why we succeed. We decided to make a decision to find all the resource that I can to go all in or get as close as I can and make as much money as possible and go in completely heart, soul, and spirit for a short, specific period of time. You have to go ham like that. You have to. It's called the grind. Like, your first 90 days is literally going to be the hardest of your life, the hardest. Like, once you pass the 90 days, then you have a cool thing that everybody wants, which is wisdom and experience. And when you're out there and you're going out there and getting your knees bloody and you're getting results, leads, sales, you're getting all these things, it may not even be big. It may be big, or it may not even be big. The truth is that you have an advantage because people really want a couple of things before they join you. Okay? They want to join somebody that has credibility. Absolutely. Like, once you have credibility, it's game over, right? Once you start creating a result and you're known somebody who creates results, done. That's one way. Number two, they want to join somebody that has the experience of an internet marketer, because guess who the new people join? The people that have already been there and done that. If you're somebody that's new, the quickest way to get a result is to go out there and start taking action now. Start making decisions. Start taking action now. Sorry, somebody just came in and scared the hell out of me. Jesus, where the hell were you? Long story. Okay. If you start taking action now and start making decisions just like the leaders do, you're gonna feel powerful. Your marketing's gonna change. The way that you talk to people is gonna change. Everything about you is gonna change. You're gonna literally radiate an energy that's so much different than anybody else has seen, and that's why they're gonna join you. That's it. Look. It's not the system. The system's great. But the system is turning you into the entrepreneur that you need to become, right? With brutal honesty. If you're somebody that likes to be honest with people, you can build your business based on truth telling, and you can call somebody a wussy and say, hey, quit being a wussy, just join. Join for $25. It's $25. If you have to think about joining an opportunity for $25, you better go work at McDonald's. And last thing before I go, right? Before I go, look. If you can't make money here, a job is better for you. I swear. I swear. And I'm just going to say this because we have income disclosure. But I promise you this. If you do what we tell you to do, money here is so simple. You will never have a problem with money ever again if you listen. I promise you. You won't. And then you'll say it, and you may not even believe that right now. You may be like, oh man, that Paul guy is crazy as hell. Talking about, oh, we're not going to have any money issues, right? But the truth is that if you do follow exactly what we tell you to do in the exact way that we tell you to do it, there's no reason why you cannot succeed the exact same way. It just takes more of the decisions to do certain things. Like if you're somebody that goes, like let's just say we just came from the event. Oh, that was the best event ever. Oh shit, we're pumped up and excited. And then Vari says, oh yeah, because of that event, I went to, and took pictures there, and I was doing all the social proof and getting all these interviews with the top leaders. I posted it on my Facebook, and then because I was positioned at a high level, I just made another $1,000 day. Boom! And then look, you won't believe how many times I've seen people look. These events not only will transform your life, but it'll transform your bank accounts too. I promise you. So this is what I want you guys to focus on, right? Most of you, and I believe all of you on the panel, is going to an event. Congratulations for making a decision to bet on yourselves, okay? The next thing that I want you to focus on is truly make the decision to not go by yourself right now. Make the decision right now that you are not going to go by yourself and you're going to bring people with you. It can be 1, it can be 10, preferably 10, right? But 1 is fine. Bring as many people as you humanly possible. Don't go alone. Why? Because the event will change that person's life too. And whether it's a family member, a sister, a brother, or somebody else, when you bring them to one of our events, and it's not like any other event, okay, they're a combination of like the best events in the world on top of like Tony Robbins type stuff. If you bring them to an event, not only will their life change, your life will change, your bank account will change as a result. Because let's just say you're somebody that is already positioned at a higher level, right? Or maybe you're somebody that wants to go all in, wants to. The events help people make that decision to go all in. That's what the events are for. Because you're going to go there and you're going to see 95% of people in the room stand up who's made a commission, but you're also going to see a stage full of 300, 400, 500 people who are making $5,000 a month and above, all the way up to $3 million. And it's going to blow your mind. And then when you find out that they were just like you and they used to work at a coffee shop, or used to work at like a year ago or 2 years ago, or you're somebody that used to work at at Safeway or McDonald's or Hooters, like Justin Berengia's girlfriend, and both of them now are millionaires, right? When you see that and you just see it for yourself, it's going to shatter all the paradigms and the beliefs that are holding you back right now. It'll shatter all of them, and you will leave that event an unstoppable entrepreneur. You will leave that event being somebody that will never buy an excuse again, and that's attractive. That's sexy. People want to join people like that. I'm telling you. Like, you will have such a powerful swagger about you that people will not know why they made the decision to join you, and it'll feel like they made the decision on their own. Like, you didn't have to do anything. Just like some of you guys just made the decision tonight. So that being said, and by the way, that was very embedded command hypnotic NLP stuff right there, and you'll learn that later. But it's powerful. You're gonna like this, Bori. Ready? Like, for instance, by now you realize you're ready to make a decision. By now you realize that you're at the right place at the right time. So pull out your credit card and buy now. That's all I got. I just kind of went off on a tangent there, Kim. So.
Well, I'm glad that I shared the training aspect for the end, because I know that there's still like 7 or 8 people logged on. So we are actually teaching something tactical tonight. So earlier, Vari had mentioned results, and how before he got his own result, how he would literally just grab the results of other teammates, or if it was his sponsor or whoever else, and promote that. And right now, you know, I've seen a couple people do it a little bit here and there, but I think everybody, with what's going on, you know, with myself, with Paul, anyone in the team that's succeeding, you literally have to capitalize on that. If you're not getting your own sales, if you're not getting your, yeah, you want to listen to this too, because you want to take some notes on this. But yeah, start taking notes now. If you haven't already, you should already have like 2 pages of notes of all the stuff we were talking about. But if you haven't, just start taking notes now. But promote other people's results. If we are welcoming in, you know, 4 people in a day, go welcome those 4 people on your own wall. If somebody upgrades to another product, congratulate them on your wall. You know, there's no reason why you can't take those, and you're not going to say, oh, you know, I got this sale if somebody else got the sale, but just celebrating is going to do 2 different things. The first is it's going to attract more results and wealth and success to yourself, because you're embracing that. You know, the people that get bitter, people that are like, oh, like, why can't I do anything? Why am I not the one getting sales? Why am I this? Why am I that? You're actually repelling success. You're repelling the results. You're repelling the sales from you. So that's the first thing that's going to do, is it's going to pull, it's going to like, stuff's going to start gravitating towards you if you can celebrate other people's success. Number 2, you're going to cause just more commotion on social media as far as the people who are following you and looking. A lot of times, you know, like Barry said, a lot of times people can't tell, you know, maybe it's a little sneaky, but you're not claiming it as your own. But a lot of, you know, people are just scrolling through, and if they're always seeing you welcoming new members, they're going to be like, dang, I don't know if it's, you know, I don't know if it's this person's results or their sales, but something's going on in that team where they're welcoming people all day long, or people are getting sales all day long. If you're surrounded by people who are succeeding, that's why people are going to choose to join you, even if you're not getting personal results yet, because you can have that conversation with them. You know, this is the stuff that I did in the beginning when I didn't have sales. I would grab anyone from the team that I was in. It didn't matter if I knew them, or even if I was friends with them on Facebook. I would be like a hawk, like the minute that somebody got some kind of sale, leads, anything, on any result at all, I would grab it, I would jing it, I would put it on my bed. Look at, you know, at the time, our team was Prosperity Team, the team that I was in, you know, look at this person from Prosperity Team, they got this and they got that, and I would just promote that. So write this down, promote the results of the team. Keep an eye out. Works. Be connected with everyone in the team so you can see the results.
It's hard, you can tell.
Why is that?
The reason why that also works too is because they don't know the difference of whose result that is. So it's like, oh, they hang out with him. Like, it's like in the same inner circle, people look at it like, oh, he must be already doing something good, or she must be already doing something good.
Yeah, so Paul touched on, you know, like we're saying, people can't really tell, you know, if it's your result or someone else's result, or they're not going to know. All they're going to know is something's happening. All they're going to know is things are exploding and growing, and success is happening. It's not dormant. It's not just you posting every single day one thing, saying, you know what I mean? Like, you need to show people that things are going on, and things are going on right now.
Sharif Andrews does a really good job with that.
Oh, nice. Okay.
He's on the Hangout right now.
Oh, sweet. So shout outs to Sharif, you know. Paul has seen you doing that. I think I saw Amber do it, and then Sam did it the other day, and then, you know, I'm always doing it. But if you're not doing it already, just do it. That's one of the easiest free marketing strategies that you can do, is promote other people's results. Even if they're not in Team Blade, but if you're connected to someone in Empower Network, hey, shout out to my fellow Empower Network teammate, this person, they just brought in 2 people today, or they just had their first $1,000 day. You can go to, this is another thing, on the same subject, you can go to YouTube and look up Empower Network reviews, or you can look up Empowered, I don't really know what keywords you're typing, but scour the internet and scour YouTube for people who had their first $1,000 days, $500 days, $1,500 days. Mine's on there. If you go to YouTube, type in my name, I have mine on there.
$9,000 days.
$9,000 days, crazy dollar days, you know, income from disclosure, you know, and all that stuff. But go look on YouTube, look for those, and just, even if it happened a year ago, who cares? It's something amazing. You can start promoting that on your Facebook. You can start sharing those videos. You can start putting those on your blog and just showing people that Empower Network is real, it works. and regular people see results. It doesn't matter if it's happening now. So go scour the internet. This is for those of you who don't have a marketing budget. Even if you don't have a marketing budget, it's still smart to do, right? But hey, what's up, Sheree? So you know, start marketing other people's results. I got one. There he goes. Promote other people's results. Scour YouTube for testimonial videos. I have a couple on my channel of different people just giving their testimonials for Empower Network. And then, so this is another thing, right? If you have a list, if you don't have a list, I'm going to show you how to start building a list for free, almost for free, in just a couple of minutes. So stay on. Don't drop off the Hangout yet. What was I saying? So what you want to do is, if you already do have a list, is also promote this to, this is called syndication, right? You take one thing and you spread it around the internet, right? So if you create a blog, you want to spread it around Facebook, Google Plus. You can even do it on YouTube. Sometimes I've done things where I wrote like a really cool short blog post. I wrote a really cool short blog post, and I just did a little jing thing. I'm like, I just want to read this to you guys because I thought it was awesome, and I made a video out of a blog post. So you can literally take your blog, put it on YouTube, you can put it on Facebook, put it on Google Plus, throw it up on Pinterest. Same thing for videos. You just want to make sure it's spread out as far as you can, right? Because it's all free. So that way people are going to start seeing more. People are going to actually see more of your content. So that's syndication. It's completely free. So the next thing, please start sharing the results. I guarantee you, if you don't already have people inboxing you, asking you for more information and all this other stuff, do that consistently for a minimum of 7 days. Just start promoting all the teams. And I guarantee it, people are going to start messaging you, they're going to start following you. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Oh, sweet. Okay. I don't know what's going on there for a minute. Okay. So yeah, results. Okay, but I'm going to do a screen share because I'm going to show you guys really quick. For those of you who, number one, if you don't have lead pages and you have $37, go get it. And if you need a link, there's a link, I think, in the team, or I have one, or just ask someone for a link for lead pages. But $37, you can get your hand on this. It's so powerful. It's the best thing I've ever spent money on in my marketing life because it's so powerful. You can do so much with it. Build the funnels, build your own capture pages, build your sales pages and everything, right? And it's simple to learn as well. But if for some reason you just can't do that right now, first and foremost, especially if you're brand new, you have to have Aweber, which is how you capture your leads. You're going to start building your list. You know, you always hear the term list in internet marketing. This is where all the leads are stored. So if you don't have Aweber yet, you can get it for $1 for the first 30 days. I think, you know, if you have to be sneaky about it and your 30 days is almost up, I think you could probably re-register, but then you're creating another list and all that kind of can get complicated. But it's only like $20, I think, after the $1. So hopefully, you know, we can come up with $20 after the $1 and you can continue to keep building your list. But once you have Aweber, you can actually create custom. They're very simple, you know, they're basic, but this is what I did before I even knew about lead pages. I created custom capture pages in Aweber, and they actually converted really, really well for me, and this is something I just remembered recently about. I'm like, oh, I got to show the team because I know some people can't get lead pages, so I want to show you. Hold on. I'm going to do a screen share, and then I'm going to go over here and show you really quickly how to do it. Just take notes, and this is being recorded so you can go back through it and refer to it while you're setting it up yourself. So, hold on just a second. Start screen share. And can I get a thumbs up from Amber if you can see my screen? Can you guys see my screen? Cool. Okay, so here we go. So you're going to log into Aweber, and what you're going to do in Aweber is you're going to just create a new list. So it's very easy to do. You just click this button here, or this link here. It says Create and Manage Lists. You click it, and this page is going to pop up. Then just fill out the forms or the fields. You know, name it something. Oh man, I gotta find one that's not used. Oh, cool. Okay, so just Cool. Okay. Okay. So yeah, name your list. Put in a description if you want. You know, name it anything. Name it like this. Seriously, you're setting up a campaign, so you can.
Hey, Kim, can you slow down for a moment?
Oh, sure.
Let's make sure that like everybody's just like taking notes, even if you don't know what you're doing just yet. Just take notes because I promise you, like once you actually like go through this, it'll be so much easier to actually set up when you actually go to set it up. If you don't have a list or an autoresponder set up yet, and just slow down just a tiny bit.
Okay.
Please.
Alrighty. Thanks for letting me know. Okay. So yes. So basic information. You just want to fill out these fields here, basically. If you haven't set up Aweber, you know, you're just going to set up your, you may not want to put your physical address, just put, like, literally, I put my work address in here when I had my first list. Like, it just put a random address, doesn't matter. Just needs to have one in there. And then this right here, this is notification. So if you're someone who wants to get an email every time, like at first it's really cool to get those until you're getting like 100 a day, and then you're like, I'm going to turn that little thing off. But at first it's cool because Aweber will send you an email every single time you get a new lead. So it's like ding, ding, like your phone will ding and let you know like, oh shoot, people are putting their email in, and it's really cool at first. So if you want to do that, you could put your name and then your email in here and add it, and then I'll just do it now that you guys can see. And then it'll send the email every single time to this email. And then of course everything you do you want to save because it sucks if you don't do that. So that's the first step. So what did we do? We logged in, we clicked on this link, we filled out the basic information. Over here, I never really fill this out. This honestly you don't really have to worry about this section here until later on if you want to get real technical with it and stuff like that. But the important parts come over here, and you might want to underline this part. Me personally, and it's just my recommendation, in my opinion, and my personal preference, to turn this off. Basically, what a opt-in web form is someone puts in they hit a capture page, they put in their email, and then rather than being redirected to the video, they get an email, and they actually have to go back to their email and verify that they requested it. Then they can actually see your stuff. And to me, most people are lazy and they just won't do it. So for me, I'm like, no, I would just rather the people be redirected right away. I mean, it's cool if somebody wants to just, you know, if a bot or something wants to opt in, whatever. It's not a big deal. I've never dealt with any issues with it, so I turn it off. Some people who are advanced, they have a certain way of doing that, and they have it on. I'm just going to say at first, just turn the dang thing off. It's easier. So flip that off. Make sure the off is red, and then you want to save. Okay, so that's the only thing. So we logged in, we clicked this, we filled out basic settings, skipped over to number 3, and turned off the confirmed opt-in. So now your list is set up. That's all you have to do. The second part is actually setting up a sign-up form. This is going to be your capture page. So you click here on sign-up forms, create your first sign-up form. And keep in mind, you can do all of this while you're in your, I mean, I'm at least 99.9% sure that you can do all this. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm like wasting everyone's time, but I'm pretty sure as long as you're, you know, you have Aweber, and even if you're on your first month, you can do this, even if you just paid the $1 for your first 30 days. Man, I don't know if I subconsciously just did that. I hope you guys saw. There was a field here that said name, and I removed it. I just clicked the X and I removed it. Because studies have shown that if you have name and email, the conversion rates are less, which means it's less likely that someone will actually give you their name and email. They'll just go away. Whereas if you remove the name, all they have to do is put in their email. You know, maybe they'll make up a fake one. I mean, sometimes that happens. But they'll still put in their email to see the information. So I always remove the name, and then you save. And I'm not going to go into these fancy ones. I mean, it's all pretty much the same setup, but you can go in here and pick out different things. So, for example, actually, maybe I should show you guys, because if you want to customize it, just bear with me because I haven't used this since like May or June of last year, but we're all in this together. Let's see, load template. Edit header. Okay. Okay, cool. So here's what I did is, you know, I just picked one I thought was cool. basically. These are the different areas up here, or the different things you could choose from. You know, popular, new, my templates, corporate, show more. There's a lot of different, subjects of capture pages. I just picked one. So then what you want to do is to customize it, you can edit the header here, and you can just type whatever you want. So 3 10-minute video reveals how a mother of 3 quit her job and now works from home. Just something really quick. Okay, and then let's see how we would edit this. Let me make it a darker color. You know, this is it looks kind of tacky. I'm just showing you for just training purposes on like how you can actually just customize the top here. You might want to like, center it or something. This little blue area probably isn't the best, but this is just an idea of like how to do it, right? So you just go in here, type in what you want it to say at the top, save it. We have this here, this right here. This is all editable. So if you want to, for some reason, I never really touched any of this. You can edit the footer here, which is just the bottom, and you can see what it looks like down there. I mean, I think before I put like a quote down there on mine when I had mine or something. I mean, you don't have to add anything down there, but I'm just showing you it is customizable down here, this area. But if you just want to keep it simple like that, you can do that. But whatever headline you like, and customize it to you and your story. You can also make this. Oh, that might have helped me earlier. That's just a weird design, I'm just going to say it. But anyways, you can resize it. You can make it wider, skinnier, depending on, you know, whatever you like. But anyways, so that's that. You want to save it. Let me scroll down. Step number 2. Okay, so here's a little more. This is probably like the hardest part of the whole thing, and it's not even that hard, is you just want to save this. I usually, all of my forms I create, I make them match the list name, that I can kind of keep them organized. So, you know, whatever you named your list, just name the form the same thing as your list, and then maybe like number 1, you know, so you can kind of keep track. So this is what happens, right? So what we did was we just created a capture page, just a generic capture page. At the top it said it has a headline that's customized to us and what we've done or what we're doing, or, you know, something that's customized to you. Here's where the magic happens. So they're going to enter their email in there, but where is it going to send them? Well, it's going to send them wherever you want it to send them. If you want them to see the sales page for Empower Network or the sales video, then this is how you do it. So this is the thank you page area. To customize it, you would click this, and you're just going to enter the URL. So it's Empower Network. And don't worry, you will all have this memorized eventually. PowerNetwork.com / almost a secret. And if you can write this down, because this is the same for everyone. All of the Empower links are the same for everyone. The only thing that's different is the end where your username goes. So you'll memorize it, and it'll be easy to remember. So almost a secret.php, and then there's a question mark, ID equals, and then put your username. I'm not even going to put that there. I don't want you guys to accidentally do it. So username, right? Put your username here. So empowernetwork.com / almost a secret.php question mark ID equals, and then your username. And then I always, because sometimes we get people that follow us and then like they'll go in and for some reason, you know, they'll opt in again, and I just like to send them to the video again rather than just see. If you don't change this, they'll be sent somewhere that says, oh, you've already opted into this one. I'll be like, no, just send them the sales page again. Maybe they'll join this time. So I always duplicate it here. So all I did was just pasted it there as well, and I'm going to save it. And again, this is all being recorded, so you'll be able to go back, and I highly recommend that you take this video. If you know how to download YouTube videos, download it, and then just save it, you know, wherever you save your videos or favorite it or whatever you have to do. And, you know, if you don't have lead pages, set one of these up tonight or tomorrow, and, you know, start marketing with this capture page. But so step number 3, this is probably the easiest part. You just want to choose the third selection here. Unless you're more advanced and you actually know like what these two mean, I don't even really know what they mean. But this one, I just know that you're supposed to click that one. So you click this one. This has Aweber host your forum. This is important. This is the link that you are going to promote. Okay? So this is what you want to do, though. You don't want to go post this on your Facebook. You want to copy it, and you want to go paste it into like badasscontent.com or buy yourself a domain name. That would be ideal, you know, if you have like $5. Here's a secret and a tip. If you don't already know, you can get a domain name for like $1.99 or like $4.99. All you have to do is go to Google and Google GoDaddy promotional codes or promo codes. GoDaddy.com promo codes. And you'll see all kinds of codes that you can find every single week. There's new ones every month. There's new ones. And literally, you can get domain names for just a couple of dollars. You know, yourname.com or makemoneywithyou.com, whatever your little shtick is. Get yourself a domain name so you look professional, and you can do it for just a few dollars. So go and do that. That's a whole other training that you can just find on YouTube, how to set up your link in that domain name. I'm not going to go into that tonight because it's a little lengthy. But this is how you promote the link now, so we could all see how it works. So, but you do want to mask this, even if it's Bitly, you know, just one of those link maskers. You want to mask it so it just looks better. But anyways, you can copy it. I'll just open a new tab and just show you what it looks like. Hopefully it looks decent because I went so fast. But here, boom. So there it is. So even if you did promote this link for some reason, you know, people would click it. They would go here. They would put in their email. Submit. Ah, dang. Okay, so I put in the wrong link. Okay, see, I make mistakes still. Okay, so here's what I did wrong. I bet some of you caught that too, but couldn't. I'm not looking at the Hangout, so you're like, no, you're putting in the wrong link. Hold on a sec. So it's a simple fix. All I did was so the almost a secret is actually your Empower Network capture page link. Commission loophole is the video. So my apologies. So make a little note of that. Just put a line through that, or just circle it and be like, oh no, this is capture page. So the only thing you need to change here is just this is commission loophole. My bad. Commission. Like I said, it was like May or June of last year. Last time I did this. Commission loophole. There we go. That's it. And then change it here. Commission loophole. Okay. Save. Okay, so let me go back through. Cool. Okay, so that's updated. I'm praying that it just works smoothly. Okay, so now, okay, so here they are. They clicked your link. They're now taken to your custom capture page. It's simple, but still it's something they've never seen before, right? And it says something that's related to you. And then click. Boom. Takes them to the sales video. It's all coded to you. And here they can watch the sales video, and they can go ahead and buy, or you now have them on your list. So you can make as many of these as you want. Test them all. Test some different ones out. You know, as you get your results, you know, make a new one, and well, hopefully, you know, as you get results, you can just get lead pages. This is the best dang software I've ever bought, or anything I've ever bought. As far as marketing goes, it's literally like so powerful what you can do with that thing. But so the goal is to get lead pages. But hey, you know what? Until you can do that, if you're really starting at zero, like literally, you can still have capture pages that are custom to you, and you can still begin to build a list with very little money. So I just want to show you guys that. Let me come over here. I'm gonna see if there's anybody that has questions really quickly. Wow, my thing looks weird. Second. Oh, there we go. Okay, questions from anyone, or did anybody need me to go back over anything? Or I mean, it is recorded, but anybody have like feedback? Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, it came up. I don't remember who it was, but yeah, yeah. So William, yeah, you got a domain name for $2. See, yeah, you just go search the promo codes, because sometimes we buy like more than one in a day, and it's like, heck no, we're not gonna pay like $13. Like, no matter how much money you make, you still want to be smart with your money. You don't just want to go throw money out anywhere just because you can. You still want to save money and stuff like that, and be frugal and be smart with it. So if they have a promo code, put in the dang promo code, you know. So yeah, go to Google, GoDaddy.com promo codes, and you should be able to find a few different ones, you know. But so yeah, that's how to create. So and then what do? You know, if you're first getting started, like I said a couple of minutes ago, you want to syndicate your stuff. You want to make sure you get it out everywhere you can. For instance, when you make a video and it goes on to YouTube, underneath are all those social icons. You can simply, with a click of a button, share it to Pinterest, Google+, Facebook, StumbleUpon, or whatever else those other things are. You know, click all of those. Make accounts on all of them. Just takes a couple minutes, and then boom, just post it to everything, and make sure your link is in there. You know, write a couple sentences. Hey, you know, this is who I am. This is what I'm doing. Click the link below to learn more. Post in your little capture page link or your domain name or whatever you have, and just make sure your link is in everything, and you always have a call to action in whatever you create. And do this daily. That's why, you know, one of the 8 core commitments is blog daily and create. It should be just, I think maybe, you know, it would be cool to just say create content daily, because then you can just go create whatever you want, which is what you can do. You know, make videos daily, but as you do it every single day, it's just going to build and build and build, and you're just going to have all this stuff out there. And like if I could draw a like a visual for you to see like how things will be eventually, like if you had I don't know why I'm thinking of this metaphor, and it's really probably weird, but if you have like a blank wall and you have like a little foam like ball in your hand, and you place one piece of like tape up there. You know, as you throw the ball, it might not stick, but the more tape that you put on the wall, the more sticky the wall is going to be, and then finally, you know, you're going to throw that ball, and it's finally going to stick, and then you're going to throw more balls. That's like probably the dumbest metaphor you've ever heard, but it kind of probably puts it all together that like the more content you create, the more people are going to like find your stuff, and they're going to join you, and you're going to start making sales. And you know, in the group, we have in the files tab, you know, if you haven't visited that area yet, there's tons of stuff in there. There's hangouts we've done in the past where we've trained on advanced things. I know one in particular, I don't remember what it's called, but just go in there and look. But we, you know, Paul goes through how to rank a video, and you can go, and that's free to do. I mean, if you have time on your hand but you don't have money, learn how to rank videos. And there's an endless supply of information out in the internet where you can learn how to rank videos, and you can start making $25 commissions all day long by, you know, ranking for certain search terms, and we teach you how to do that, and it's free. If you're at the $25 level, you can go search for that. Even if you don't have that training, you can go to Google and you can learn how to do it from the free resources. So if time is on your side, then just do the necessary training and work on that end to learn what you need to learn in order to start making some commissions. But I'm trying to think of any other strategies that I knew, you know, as far as, you know, just being resourceful as far as like upgrading and stuff like that. Just make it your goal. You know, simple things like ask yourself, what are some things that right now, like look at your financial situation, because this is what I did. You know, I looked at my financial situation and said, you know, what are some things I can do without? What are some things that I can maybe sacrifice for 90 days I don't really need? You know, like cut off fast food. I did this already, but you know, I already had cut off cable because I just was not interested in watching anything on TV because I didn't even pay attention to it. So I was so focused on just being successful and learning what I needed to learn to just do this. So I couldn't even focus on it. Even to this day, I have a hard time. Like, if we go to the movies, like I'm still like have a hard time not thinking about business and not like thinking about like what I gotta do, who I gotta help, and stuff like that. But I'll work on that. Eventually I'll be able to watch a movie. But you know, just think what are some things that maybe, you know, are luxuries that you can go without for 90 days, and then you could replace that money and put it towards your business, whether it's paid advertising or upgrading to the next level, or buying something for your business that you need, buying a book or audio or whatever it is that you need. So there's no shortage of money out there. You just have to figure out how to get it. What are some things that you can do to get it? So I don't know. I mean, if anyone has any questions on anything, really, before we wrap it up, we did a long hangout here. We did like 2 hours and like 10 minutes. I don't know how like we did that. It's pretty crazy, but I'm glad we at least I achieved my goal and taught you guys how to do that capture page thing. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find the recording for this and post it in the group, because I know there is a lot of people that need to know how to do that, and they need to hear a lot of this information here. But if anyone else doesn't have any last thoughts, just thanks for tuning in. Thank you for coming to the hangout. And if there's anything like for those of you, I consider you guys, that hop out or hop on the hangout, every week, that you're our leadership, that you're our up-and-coming leadership, and feel free, like if you have certain things certain ideas that come to your mind that you think would help the team, let Paul know. You're all always welcome to get on the midday motivational calls, get yourself out there, practice your speaking skills, practice for stage, practice for, whatever you want to do. But if there's things that you want to train on, or if there's things you want to see us train on, bring it to our attention so we can just start bringing more value to the team, to everyone in the team on these Thursday night hangouts. But I think that's it. I think we can let you guys go and go to sleep. And I don't know what time it is on your guys' side of the country and everything, but it's only almost 9 o'clock here, so I'm good. But I know for some of you it's pretty late. So if that's all, then I guess good night to everybody, and just thanks for being on. All right. All right. We'll see you guys, we'll hear from you in the morning on the call. Okay. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye.
Good night.
Night. Thanks for being on.
Yep.